How are you, brother?
Everything is well. Everything is well. Good evening over there. Good morning over here.
And good morning over here. I know, man. Yeah, I did not realize, man, that's where you were. And I knew you'd been in the Philippines for a while, but I didn't realize you guys were in Guam now. So thank you, man. Thank you for coordinating with us and jumping on with all these guys, man. This means the world.
No, man, I'm super honored, man. Like when you hit me up and I was like, good, good dad's like, am I a good dad? And then I started questioning. I was like, dude, I really started going through the paces. Like, oh my god. So the only thing is my missus is she's taking class right now down at college. My little man's asleep, so as soon as he wakes up, I'm gonna have to grab him and come back. But he'll probably just lay on me while I'm doing the interview.
Brother, you're amongst a whole lot of people who love the young heroes and want the best for them, man. So all you said was, hey, at some point this might even be cooler. So that's all you just said. That's all you just said right there, man. That's it. So, oh man, no, that's great. And I love the fact that you said that too, that you started going through, because that's what good men do, right? We start questioning, we go, man, are we doing it right for the young heroes that we're raising, right? Are we leading by example? Are we doing the thing we need to do? That's it. If you're not asking that question, right?
Would they be proud? That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
That's right, brother. That is right, man. So, and before we get started on everything too, man, and Tim says to tell you hi too. He's traveling today.
Badass.
Yeah, I told him that you're coming on. He's like, oh, he's at that guy's school. He's like, have you seen anything on his social? Tim is a very high level undercover stalker, right? Of everything, man. And so he's like, man, have you been seeing some of this stuff on, that he puts out there on social and stuff too? I said, yeah, absolutely. He goes, dude, that's our kind of guy. I was like, I know, man. I know. The husband, yes. The father, yes. The fighter, yes. The athlete, yes. The all of that, yes. But also speaking the truth, you are the truth and you were speaking the truth, man. So yeah,
yes, sir.
excited to do this, man. And we've got, these guys from all over the world that Tim and I get to hang out with. And some of these guys are going to go forward and launch some of the schools like we're doing, man. And so we get to chat with good dudes every single week and then launch that as a podcast too. So it's just wins all around, brother.
That's so amazing. Yeah, man. Because so we'll be starting a podcast soon. There's a lot of things I want to talk about that I learned in my life and things that I saw on the come along that I learned that were wrong later on, so.
Yes.
I just want to talk about life and the stuff that I saw.
Yes,
and
sir.
People don't want to, the stuff people don't want to talk about. That's the stuff I want to talk about.
Well, and that's usually the things that need to be spoken about most, right? I mean, that's
yes,
it,
sir.
Because we're hiding them under the covers for a reason, brother. And it's not good. We need to bring light to it, So
yes, sir.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. And you bring so much light to all that stuff. So I want to make sure everybody gets, we get about 120,000 downloads per episode, usually around the world. And a lot of
badass.
That's not even the focus, it's just we get to talk to so many rad folks that it's a byproduct of it, right? And so
yes, sir.
And so that's great, man. So I want to make sure, all these guys here, when we say it's Brandon Vera, they're like, okay, got it. Yeah, we know what's up.
That's so cool, man.
We've got parents and young heroes that listen all over the world too. So I figure we'll take a few minutes, dive a little bit into your path, into your journey, some of those lessons learned. And, you and I chat for 20, 30, and then I'll be quiet, man. And these handsome gentlemen from around the world will come in and they'll ask some questions too, man. And we'll just have
that's super cool.
So makes
I appreciate you.
Glad to, man. So I want to go just high level on forging this path. And I'm going to use these words specifically, man, on forging a path. Because we've been talking with these men lately, and some of these guys are going, it seems like you and Tim, you guys have found your path. I'm still looking to find my path. And what we're trying to get across is, no, man, we're forging this path. And it's we keep forging as we go. And as we're forging one thing, other doors open over here and we're going, and your journey is so like that, man. Right. So, I mean, from wrestling to OD to going to wrestle in the Air Force to mixed martial arts, and I've been following you for a long time, and into acting, acting now, right? Like I've been a fan forever too. So I want to talk about that, man. So could you give us kind of the high level, you growing up, kind of where you were in Virginia and that quick path from like wrestling into mixed martial arts, where everybody really, a lot of people really know you from, and we'll start there.
I grew up in a weird time, in a weird area. military town, Norfolk, Virginia, you know, and it was in the 70s, 80s, early 80s. I had to deal with real racism. Like, so when people talk about racism now, I kind of giggle because somebody said something that hurt their feelings, you know, like, man, the scariest story I have is one time me and my friend riding a bike had to run from members carrying a boat into the water of the KKK, full dress. So like real racism, you know, and then, so for me, the reason why I'm bringing this up is I was always uncomfortable since I was a little kid because I wasn't Black and I wasn't white. And I was like, nobody knew what a damn Filipino was. Like nobody knew what a Filipino.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah, especially in Virginia, man. A little bit in California we did, sort of, but not in Norfolk, Virginia, man. That wasn't a thing.
No, so it became, everybody was asking me if they only knew the word Oriental in Chinese. That's all they knew, you know? So everybody's asking me if I was Oriental. So, you know, I had to deal with this back in, you know, growing up. I was dealing with this in the States, and, you know, this is part of growing up, man. It's just part of life. It's going to be like this no matter where you're in the world. So I figure we're probably around 8 years old. We're flying back to the Philippines, and I'm super excited to get to the Philippines. Finally, I get to hang out with Filipinos, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, I get to hang out with my cousins. Oh, it's going to be so cool. No, I'm not going to get picked on. Man, I land in the Philippines, and now I'm an American, like Americano, with those nice shorts. Hey, get out of my park, you know, like, man, now I don't belong here in the Philippines, you know? So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that kind of set the tone of how my life was going to go for the future. Like I'm always going to, like you said, I'm going to have to forge my own path. I'm going to have to figure this out as we go because there's no place. Let's go make our own place.
Did your parents recognize that for you? Like, was that something that they saw and that you guys had conversations around, or was that something you were kind of dealing with solo?
No, this is something I had to find out on my own and deal with solo. You know, I had my group of friends, and our neighborhood was blue collar, like super blue collar. Like, man, it didn't matter what race you were. It didn't matter what race you were in our neighborhood. Like, if you were doing something wrong in somebody's house, you probably can get your butt whooped by whoever. And then there was going to be a phone call before you went home. You probably get your butt whooped again when you got home, you know? So there was no color in our neighborhood. It was right and wrong in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And then, man, I didn't get to talk to my parents about this stuff because they were first generation. They were first generation imports. Right. So they're learning how to deal with their English accent, their English, trying to fit in, you know? So my dad went from being an assembly line worker at GE to a dishwasher to owning like 5 to 7 Filipino Chinese takeouts, you know? So along his journey, he's busy all the time. He's doing 16, 18-hour days. We grew up real Asian where they just expected the best of us, you know, like, which I totally understand. They came over here with nothing and they made stuff happen. So
yes, sir.
I didn't feel that there was a place to complain or a need to talk about it. I just felt like it needed to get done. But I guess, man, like, I didn't have to rely on my parents to find this. They gave me enough wherewithal raising me that I could figure it out on my own, I guess.
Man, I'll tell you what, the pendulum has swung so far the other way, right? We don't let our kids figure anything out anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
The helicopter and I mean, not even just helicopters, like full blown Black Hawk parenting, where they're coming in and just trying to shoot every problem out of the sky before a kid can ever even, you know, get a boo-boo on the, like, that's to their disservice, you know.
100% correct. Yes,
you got a lot of good stuff there. So you got that work ethic and you're seeing that and you're tackling those things. What was the attraction to combat sports? Was it kind of the work ethic thing and fighting the racism thing? Was it just like, man, you know, for me, it was Jean-Claude Van Damme and like, I'm going to get Like, I want to do that. I want to put some splits in between a chair and go fight Chong Li. Like, what was the draw for you?
No, the racism thing, I think that kind of showed me the real world right away and
Mm.
kind of made me understand you need to fight. Of course, life isn't fair. I think that's what it taught me right away. Life ain't fair. You need to go figure it out, son. Like, I think that was my biggest lesson from there. The lesson I learned from my parents growing up and watching was the first generation thing, doing 16-hour days, 7 days a week, waiting for somebody to fly in so that they could get help at the restaurant, so they could take 2 days off to sleep, like I remember seeing that. And then going through life, I was not the Asian kid. I was not the smart Asian kid, man. Like X plus Y equals Z did not make sense to me, like
Right.
so I during college I got a scholarship to ODU, and then after I left, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I did not want to become a pizza delivery driver. That was the job. If you didn't know what you were doing during my time, or you were in between stuff, you were pizza delivery driver during my time.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be a pizza delivery driver. So I decided I need to learn some kind of discipline. I need to learn a lot more about myself. I joined the military straight out of college. And then my parents were super upset because, we had a full ride to college, man. So I had to go through that whole thing on the Asian side where my parents wanted to disown me, man.
Yes, sir.
So, everything was just a grind. I guess everything was just a grind for me. And being in college and wrestling in college and getting a chance to wrestle for the Air Force, man, wrestling for the Air Force was cool, man. I became a resident athlete at the Olympic Training Center. Yeah. I didn't realize how big that was until, I don't know, maybe way later on.
Yeah, it was a hindsight perspective, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, I lived there. Oh my God, I was training there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, so rad, man. And so you're making your way through this. And if I remember the story, or your story, I should say correctly, was it the old school? Was it like Lloyd out of like DC that saw you somewhere? Is that who it was?
Yeah.
You didn't, because I know
Yes,
you were
sir.
in San Diego for a while, but you went somewhere else first. Is that right?
No, sir. So I was in Virginia. So after I was discharged from the military, they medical discharge messed up my elbow.
Got it.
It's still the same today, but I went back to Virginia, rehab, got it together. I was doing a bunch of grapplers quests, Muay Thai tournaments, a lot of local and international, national stuff. And I was doing some grapplers quest tournaments, and I was paying for all of this stuff out of my own pocket. Man, this is before there was sponsors, this is, I'm talking about so broke, we're counting change out of the ashtray, trying to make the New Jersey Turnpike so that I can get to the tournament.
Yeah. And
on the grind, so
yeah.
So from there we just man, kept grinding, kept drilling. And then I remember one time I got to a point where it was like, nobody's helping with this. Everybody that said they were coming to the tournaments with me kept bailing. And I'm talking about like 12, 15 tournaments that I'm driving solo to, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, and then people bailing, not being able to afford it. I got to this tournament and I remember thinking like, man, F this. This is my last one, yo. I don't care what I do. Like, this is I place first, second, last, whatever. I don't care anymore. I'm done, man. I'm done spending money on this.
Yeah.
And I remember I'm cutting weight. I'm there before the tournament starts. I'm there. Mats are still rolled up, and I'm jumping rope. Somebody walks in, and it's not Brian Simmons of Grappler's Quest yet. It's Master Lloyd Irvin.
Hey, Lloyd Irvin.
The second one there. He's the second one there. And then he walks up to me and is like, "Hey, Shawty, let me talk to you real quick." He said, I've been watching you. I've been seeing what you've been doing. He said, "Man, listen, I really love what you're doing. And the fact that you're doing this by yourself." He said, "Shawty, if you need anything ever," he said, "let me know. I'm here in Maryland, Northern Virginia." He said, I'll take care of you. I got you." I said, "What?" And then that was the day. I think I won 1st place that day. And man, I started training with him that very next week. And then he came, he walks up to me and is like, "Hey, Shawty, let me talk to you real quick." He said, I've been watching you. I've been seeing what you've been doing. He's like, "Man, listen, I really love what you're doing. And the fact that you're doing this by yourself." He said, "Man, if you need anything ever," he said, "I'll take care of you. I got you." I said, "What?" And then that was the day. I think I won 1st place that day. And man, I started training with him that very next week I started training with Master Lloyd that
That's
very next
awesome,
week.
man.
Yeah.
And he's an OG.
People don't even know.
I know.
He's like the first American to compete in Brazil, you know, like people don't even know.
Yeah.
Super OG, man.
Yeah,
God,
for sure, man.
no.
For sure. Oh, that's so rad. So how long did you end up training with him before you started jumping in the cage?
I was with Master Lloyd when I started jumping in the cage.
Yeah.
I was with him, yeah. What was it? Maybe 6 months before we started fighting together. Yeah.
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 I mean,
6
and
months.
that's in the heyday, man. I mean, there wasn't a lot. I mean, the UFC was around, but it wasn't the beast that it is now, right? So you've got all these other smaller programs, smaller shows. And it's not as, I mean, it was not anything like the machine that it is today.
No,
I mean, it's not even close.
no
man.
way. I remember fighting one time in this in a train station, like a train station stop station.
Yeah.
There was railroad ties on the floor. That was the floor. Giant splinters in your feet trying to fight. You know?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. I remember fighting in an airplane hangar in Fresno, California. Like just so shady. And I like you to find out who the guy is, you know, like right there. It's like, yeah, there. You're like, who is it? You got it. High five. Let's go. You know,
No,
like,
best part was no weigh-ins. You guys look about the same size.
Yeah, you're roughly ish. Yep, totally. Oh, yeah, that's freaking awesome, man. But you did well, right? And it started
Yes,
this
sir.
and it started this journey, right? And so
Yes, sir.
I mean, and talk about journey. I mean, you are, you know, you're one of the all-timers, man. You put in the work and extraordinarily successful career and you know, three-time world champ through one great UFC career. I mean, just really put
Thank
it
you, brother.
man.
Thank you.
Oh man,
Thanks.
absolutely. Well, I mean, it's the truth, right? I mean, it is
Thank
what
you.
it is. It's just that's the
Yes,
truth
sir.
of the matter, man. So it's fantastic and recently retired too. But
Yes,
what
sir.
I love too is, man, what a hard pivot. Because as you're retiring from this sport where you have earned your legend status, you're also raising a family, right? You're newly married, and then now you're going down the feature film route. How did this pivot happen? I'm telling these guys, look, man, you're fighting through one door, and all of a sudden you got a bunch of other doors now, and now you got to choose these other paths. How did that come out for you?
You know, I've always had a rough plan of what I wanted, you know?
Yeah.
And I've understood for a long time. This lesson came from Part Mark Munoz as well.
Yeah. I got to train with Mark in Sacramento.
Yes, sir, man. Monster Kuya Mark.
Absolute monster, man. I'm very interested on how that played out.
So, you know, okay, hold on, Lobos, hold on. When I first made the move to the Philippines, when I was going to get with one championship and start working for that promotion, all of this kind of happened at the same time. I decided back then, as you know, The Rock did, he pivoted from sports entertainment to straight entertainment, you know, and I thought that was one of the coolest things that anybody's done. I mean, a lot of people have done it, but nobody's done it like him. Like, he became bigger than he was when he was with the WWE.
For sure.
And nobody's ever done that, you know? So, us overachievers, let's aim for the next universe, not the stars, you know? Let's see where we end up. So as I'm deciding that we're moving over there, I ask to find a management group and a management team that would be able to represent my interests. Okay, Baba. That would be able to represent my interests around the world and in the Philippines, because I wanted to pivot and start doing movies, endorsements. I want to learn how to act. I wanted to learn how to, entertain, you know, be on the entertainment side. And then I met Don Monteverde, who is my management group. Okay. Who's my management group in the Philippines and around the world now, which is an amazing management group. How can I explain? My management group in the Philippines, Don Monteverde is the son of Mother Lily Monteverde. Mother Lily is the one who created Regal Cinemas and the movie theater industry and
Wow.
actors and the industry in the Philippines.
Okay.
So I got connected right away with Don Monteverde, who is now my ninong. He's now one of my godfathers. And man, he, from classes to practices to shows to going to live shows to watch, like it's a whole nother journey, just like MMA. So
Sure.
I love it that much because I'm relearning everything all over again.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah. You get to go on that journey all over again, that hero's journey.
Yeah.
It starts
Yes,
again,
sir.
different cycle. Good for you, man. Oh, that's amazing. So, and as you, I mean, you're finding success here as well. And what I want to get your insight on, like you found success at the highest level in the mixed martial arts world, and then you are finding success at an extraordinarily high level already early on here in this new venture. Right, you're already finding that. I mean, I'm talking, I mean, if you got a couple movies out, you got a 10 movie deal from what I understand, you're doing okay, sir. Right. So people are responding. So is this well, Brandon's just a unicorn thing, or is this just really a guy who enjoys the journey of getting better and is putting in the work? I mean, I have a feeling I know where it is, but what do you attribute all that to?
You know, I absolutely love it. Like I broke it down for my directors. I broke it down for our stuntmen that we work with. I talked to my godfather about it. Like when I first was doing this, it was a cool thing, you know, like, oh wow, I get to do camera stuff. Ooh. And then as we did more movies, as we did more films, I got to watch the professionals work. I got to be beside them and just pick up on their habits. See the things they do to be successful, see the things that they don't do to be successful. You know, I'm just trying to emulate everything that I'm seeing. And man, I thoroughly enjoy it because for me, so let's look at MMA. MMA is like I could get lost in MMA forever, and I understand it's a very selfish sport, but you just do reps over and over. 1, 2, 3, low kick. 1, 2, 3, low kick. 1, 2, 3, low kick. You don't have to think about anything else in the world except how to perfect and how to make that thing sing in different beats. 1, 2, 3, low kick. 1, 2, 3, low kick. How to make different songs with 1, 2, 3, low kick. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with doing that for an hour because I can practice that over and over again, and I'll have a whole symphony for you when you ask for it. You know, I can play fast or slow, the same beat over and over. So acting, as we have that page of that set, our dialogue scene, our scene that we're going through, even if it's action, like I have to do all of this stuff at the same time, exactly, in different forms, in different syncs, with different looks and different emotions. So it's like, it's cooler. Like I'm not cooler. I don't know, it's not cooler. It's definitely not cooler, but it's cool, man. It's really cool.
It is. Well, what you're talking about is you're talking about a genius way to look at perfecting an art that only comes through consistent action, right? And that's why most people don't want to perfect anything. They don't want to put the time in and the consistency in, and they don't want to do the things that are, they go, oh, well, this is boring, right? I don't want to go 1, 2, 3 low kick and then 1, 2, 3 and work on. I want to go Anthony Pettis, man. Teach me how to go run up the side of the cage, right, and try to kick Ben in the head, right? Teach me how to do that stuff. And it's like, no, man, this is where the mastery happens over here. And when you can get lost in that, and not just, I love the way you distinguish it. It wasn't just cool anymore. You love it. And you literally love creating with the basics. When you get to that level where you can create with the basics in any craft, mastery is something that is just a byproduct of that. Right. And that's the mindset you're taking.
Yes, sir. I love it. I adore it just like I do MMA.
Yeah. Oh.
Sorry.
No, don't be stoned. Don't apologize a bit.
Just like you said, mastering anything. I absolutely love challenging myself, and the coolest part about it is every scene is different, every set is different, every movie's different, you know, so it's all different. It's all different all the time. I love it. I absolutely
So
love it.
freaking cool. So, gentlemen, what I want to do is, if you guys have some questions, I want you to start putting your hands up. I have a couple more follow-up questions that I want to ask Mr. Vera, and then I want to get you guys to be able to jump in here too. So, you know, I wanted to make sure people had the background, if they didn't already, of the path that you are forging. And I've, you know, again, I've always been a fan of all of that, of you as the athlete, but I'm more a fan of you as the person, right? Because I see a good human being who's here. I see a good husband. I see a good father. And I see a man who is intentional about his words and speaking the truth, even when it's an uncomfortable truth. And to me, that's, you know, those are the cojones that all of us should have. How do you balance the inevitable pushback that I know you have to get for speaking the truths that you will speak, from whether it's, you know, on the government level, from the education level, from the, you know, the ridiculous COVID shenanigans to, I mean, you've been vocal and going, look, this is silly, you know, this is silly. Like, this is silly. People need to kind of wake up and think about this. You get pushback on that. How do you balance that so that you don't take that to heart? It doesn't affect your art and what you're doing.
You know, I've been blessed that the sponsors that I've had really haven't, they don't care about what I say. The organization I was with, you know, they didn't really care. And I had to be careful with what I said. I still played the line. And it was harder. We talk about this all the time with his godfather. It's harder because I'm here in Asia, but I'm American and Asian, you know? So there's a super fine line that I had to play. And knowing this, understanding all this, we set ourselves up so that we don't really owe anybody anything.
Good.
Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars around the world. 4 of them are 3rd gen Toyota 4Runners.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? Like, we have cars all over the place, but they're 3rd gen Toyota 4Runners that we work on, that we repair, that we fix,
sir.
you know?
Right.
I have my dream car, which is a 06 3500 Dodge Dually Ram. You know, everything we do is within and underneath the means, always. You know, and the second part is I can farm, I can aquaponics, I can aquaculture, you know. So I live on an island. So if you cancel me all the way down to where I have to live on my farm, I'm all right with that, you know, like.
Yes.
So, you know, I think that's the problem, and that's the pressure that people, not pressure, that's the luxury that 99% of the population do not have anymore. They cannot break down all the way to live on their land, even hard times if they had to, you know, and that's scary. And I understand it. That's the system that's been designed. I get it, you know, but we can do better as a people. We should learn and know how to do better.
Yes, sir.
People. But I think this is why I have the freedom I have, is just because I don't care. When people say, "Oh, I don't care," I don't care. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah. Yes, because you've worked to put yourself in that position of being good. Freedom's here. Freedom is here, right? I mean, it goes, starts here, it ends here. And now your circumstances can play into that, and how you view those, and you can be intentional about putting yourself into those circumstances where it is easier to find it from here to here, and right where you have that peace of mind that others don't, because you have done that work. And I love the intentionality around that, man. When I just got back in from Texas. I'm in North Carolina in the mountains, is where we've got a farm as well.
Very nice.
Oh, it's the best, man. And just got back from Texas a couple hours ago, and been there for the last few days, and doing some work with Timmy and the sheepdog crew, and getting some planning, getting to see many of these guys in person, which was freaking fantastic. And then had the opportunity to do a couple of shows, do Steve Weatherford's show when I was out there, and Nick Bear's show. And one of the things we were talking about with both of those guys was the must be nice mentality, where people go, "Oh, You guys have a farm, it must be nice, right? And it's like, yes, it is nice. And let me tell you, the blood, sweat, the tears, the years, the being broke, the making the hard decisions, the ridicule. Let me tell you about all those things to get to that nice. And let's talk about that journey, because nobody was saying must be nice at that point, and you were very intentional about doing that.
I didn't spend $16 a drink at the bar.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like, to impress somebody. No, man, I didn't do that.
Yep.
I didn't go out.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And now you get to do this, and you get to have a freaking amazing young man that you're bringing up. And, you know,
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, come on, like that is the best. What my last thing, because I'm gonna open it up to these guys, because otherwise I'll
It's okay.
monopolize.
Sorry. We can keep talking. He's chilling. He's
No,
okay.
no, don't be. Yeah, no, don't be. So I want to make sure I open up to these guys, because I'll just sit here and monopolize the time. But knowing what you know, with the way the world is going to, and you know, and just kind of the sideways things that are happening, but in schools and the governments and just these weird things. I pulled a quote that you said, that I found that you said one time. You said, "Look, I asked somebody for a definition of wokeness, and I was told that it's believing you have the high moral ground and everybody else is wrong for not behaving or believing as you do." That's a religion, man. You just described a religion, right? And we live in this world. How do you, as a dad, think about that? Like, okay, I'm raising my son, and you know, they've got to know about what's going on here, but also, we got to be able to push through this and be warriors and fight and fight through this, but not lose, you know, that peace of mind up here. How do you look at that from a dad point of view? I know it's a big question, but
So, man, we are spoiled. We're spoiled on the islands. Here in Guam, which is US, and in Philippines, because nobody plays into the wokeness, excuse my language, bullshit. Like, it's not an option here, you know, like, and I will tell you, there is a lot of people in the Philippines and here who are gay, who are, that's how they live their life. But and they cross dress. But I tell you what, they're not pushing it on kids. They're not telling people, they're not asking people to join their lifestyle. You know, they're not telling people this is the way. That's right. You know, so for me, man, that's awesome. I like being the devil's advocate as well, you know, because I like to understand where people come from. And then maybe we're not all raised the same. We're not going to fit in a square peg. We're not. It's just how the world is, you know, and I want people, I don't know, I wish people would be able to understand each other more, but understand that there are certain moral codes that should be upheld by society.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, I heard somebody said it best, man, like, what you do at home in your private time, as long as you're not physically hurting anyone or mentally abusing anybody, right, man, be whatever you want, be a unicorn, do whatever you want inside your house.
Yep.
It's inside your house. Nobody's telling you to stop.
That's right.
But man, when you come outside, you bring it in public, and now my child's eyes might become exposed to that. You cannot unsee what you've seen, you know? That's right. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal that's happening right now to all these kids. They're exposing to all this shit that they'll never ever forget about.
That's right. That's right. And then when you start talking about the ideologies and you start putting those in, you know, the quote unquote education system, it becomes a very different thing. It becomes a training ground, you know, in a negative way. And it's not the only thing that our kids are battling in that regard, but man, it's a thing they shouldn't have to battle, and they're unfortunately having to. So
why is it there?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Why is it there?
Yep. So I'm always thankful, man, for good men who are being intentional as a father to make sure that, you know, they're setting the foundation, that moral code gets set first in the home, you know, and I always appreciate that very much.
Yes, sir. So maybe it's just me, but from thank God for the years of training MMA, because now reps with this handsome little gentleman here is really easy.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it is just reps. Like, you're gonna tell him no, he's gonna say yes. You're gonna tell him no, he's gonna do it again. You can't lose your cool. You just have to be able to do reps with him over and over and over again until they get it, you know? I'm not saying that there shouldn't ever be consequences, but man, it's really just reps. It's just practice. And the problem is most people, like we were saying earlier, don't want to do the work. They'd rather just put this in front of their child, you know, as I'm doing it right now, doing the interview.
You're good. Oh, but
For the record, though, he only really uses it. We don't use this when we go out to dinner. He only really uses this here at the house or when we're training.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's
We
true.
don't do dinner with it, some of us.
Yeah, it's that that transfer mentality, man, of the reps. You know, I mean, it
It's
really
the reps. And you know, as a father, looking back at my dad, I saw my dad go through the grind every day. I'm so proud of my dad, and I love telling this during every interview. Is my dad never ever imagine this. Imagine my dad never ever told us he was tired. Ever. I never heard my dad say he was tired. I heard my dad say he was sleepy. I heard my dad's, you know, but my dad never ever, man, said he was tired. So I'm never going to tell my son that I'm tired, you know. With her training, I'm like, hey, I need a second, but I'm not tired. Don't give me a second. Let's go. And things like that, man. That I'm very proud of my dad for, dude, he did 16-hour days, 18-hour days, 7 days a week. You know, I remember, man. And so it's just those reps. So if I remember that from my dad, I'm thinking the reps that I do with him now is just going to instill and ingrain, and maybe he'll appreciate it later on.
Oh, what do you think, G?
That's awesome, brother. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a really good. And do you do you occasionally get the "Let's go, Brandon" slogan on you?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
I scream it.
There
Let's go.
Sorry, I had to ask that one.
That's awesome.
Thank
I
you, brother.
love it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, G, happy birthday, by the way, sir.
Thank
Happy
you, sir.
birthday,
Appreciate
G.
that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yeah,
You're gonna have a bunch of bearded gentlemen singing you happy birthday a little bit later here tonight. Get ready, sir. Get ready.
I've never had the problem of lacking confidence. Like, that's never been a problem for me. The problem for me has been, did I really want to do that? Did I really want to do this, you know? And when it comes to that, I'm talking about even my fights, even some of the fights that you've seen me compete in, I didn't want to fight. I just did it because I had to. I was contract obligated or something else was going on in my life, but I needed to make that happen, you know? Sometimes I got the win, sometimes I didn't. But the way I made it happen, honestly, was I just got up and did the reps. I got up and made the coffee. I got up, put my shoes on, did the run. You know, I went through the motion. And even though I wasn't fully committed 100% with my heart, I didn't want to make that happen. There was no driving force. I trusted the process, and I let the process take over my mindset.
Mikey, I hope you realize how powerful that is. You know, when Joseph Campbell talks about the hero's journey, if you look at any, you know, any of the pictures around that, it shows very clearly, it shows the circle, right? It shows the cycle. And at any point, you know, in that circle, in that cycle, as you're walking through that, you're going to hit those moments where you're like, hey, I don't feel confident, or I don't know if I even want to do this. But what Mr. Vera just said there, man, it's literally that. It's going through the motions. It's why you guys have a game plan for each month. It's why you guys have the game plan for each day on that essential 11, is because sometimes you're not going to feel it, but it's like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and put in the reps. I'm going to go through the motions, because if I do, I'm taking another step in that journey. And eventually, as that circle comes back around, you'll get back to that point of confidence. And that's where you have a chance to expand the circle and to jump and to really get there. But if you stop freaking walking, or even worse, go backwards, you're not going to get back to that confidence, man. That's why I'm on you guys so much about, God, just keep moving forward.
Can I add to that,
Please,
Viking? So in real life, staying in shape, we could just use that. You can just use that as this measuring stick. Like, we keep moving forward to stay in shape, even if we didn't have a fight coming up, because at any moment, something could come up. And we would already be ready to go to camp. If I didn't get up and do those reps and I wasn't in shape all the time, and then the fight call came, but I've been sitting back and I've been kicking back and I've just been wondering and whining and waiting. When that fight call came, I only had 8 weeks to get in shape and prepare my game plan for the person that I'm fighting. So I'm already months behind already.
Yep.
So the truest way to keep that long career that you're talking about, because, you know, my career has had peaks and valleys, but the reason why I'm there, the reason why I did 20 plus years, the reason why I fought the best in the world, the reason why they keep asking for my name is because I'm consistent. And you know, I'm going to bring the show. I'm going to be in shape. I just have to figure out my opponent.
That's right.
Before the fight. And that's how I've kept it that way. Just keep doing those reps. Please keep doing those reps.
Gosh. I wish I remember who said it to me. Because I would like to give credit where credit is due. But I remember a man saying to me, you know, there's about 7 once in a lifetime opportunities that men will face in their life. And most men are never ready for any of them. He says, if you stay ready and you stay consistent, you'll have 7 of them. And that stuck with me, man. You know, it stuck with me. The big opportunities, there's no way that I won't be ready for it, because I've, you know, the mundane, the boring days didn't matter. There was always forward progress, period.
Yes, sir. So I talk to my wife a lot. Like when me and my wife first got together, very, very first got together, I explained something to her. You know, I told her, I said, there's a hot 18-year-old girl every single day. There's a brand new one. There's always a new one to choose from. Always. There's always a new hottie wearing the new outfit, doing the new pose with the new hashtag. I need you to be more than that. I need you to be more than I need more than that. So from the very first conversation to today, we talk about everything. Do you have that with yours, with your wife, your girl?
I think so. It's just, I mean, I work a ton of hours, and
yeah, for sure,
a lot of this stuff, you know, it takes time. And, you know, as was writing this question down and thinking about it, I thought to myself, I think that when those occasions do come up for me, it's because I haven't laid the groundwork ahead of time. I'm being lazy about it, and I haven't said anything ahead. I haven't done enough. I haven't built that bridge before I walked out the door. And we're all guilty of it. You know, there's just a ton of stuff going on, and maybe you forget a few things, and then you're walking out the door and you're like, is it really that way? Or am I just feeling guilty because I didn't do the groundwork ahead of time? So that's why, you know,
I would say it's both. I would say it's both, brother. The way I would start to fix this situation, when you get that body language, when it's irritating you the most, man, be the most humble gentleman you can be and give her a kiss. Tell her thank you, and you appreciate everything she does for you.
100%.
I promise you, start small. Let her feel that love. Mean it when you say it, brother, and the world will open. The world will open to a better spot.
Understood. Thank you.
Spot friggin' on. You okay?
I would say my most useful skill in this business is the hurry up and wait. Most people cannot do that. Most people lose their mind, you know? So that's number one. Number two from the military is scheduling, man. Like, you'd be super surprised how people cannot schedule, follow schedules, or run schedules. So, man, being a veteran, I would absolutely recommend you looking into the entertainment business. Look to a friend, sign up at SAG, Screen Actors Guild, and start asking questions, start looking around, do local stuff, local YouTuber at first, so you can see what schedules are. and then man, move up from there. It's definitely a very cool and thriving industry. And there's a lot of independence now. You don't have to be with a big studio anymore, you know? Man, the most honest answer, and this is not PG-13-ish, like my nephews and nieces would be mad at me for saying this. I don't worry about the shit I did yesterday. I really, really don't. Like, I'm worried about now and tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow, next week, next month? That stuff's old. Like, man, when people tell me about stuff that they did in the past or where they've been or things they did, unless it's crazy missions, because those are always good stories. You know what I mean? Like, different ops, those are always good stories. But, you know, well, back in my day, I used to do this, X, Y, Z. Like, man, that's back in the day. We don't need back in the day. What are you doing tomorrow? What are you doing now? What are we planning for? What's next, right, Atreyu? What's next?
Right.
Because, man, I think that's the problem. If you get stuck in the past, or you're only worried about the accomplishments of the past, there's no reason to move forward, I guess.
Wrong.
Okay, go down. Sorry, he's getting rambunctious now. He's
You're
ready
good.
to
I
start
know.
playing.
We'll make sure.
No, we have a jungle gym next door. I'm gonna take him to the jungle gym. I just honestly, man, I never ever worried about that. And then when you were saying something, Matt, telling me the stuff, I was like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I did that. Oh yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I was watching a throwback video from the other day. My wife was like, you remember you did all that? No, I don't. I forgot, man. I forgot I did all that stuff. And I think that's the key to becoming successful. And listen, I'm not successful. That's the key to trying to become successful at whatever you're trying to pursue. Just, man, go all in. And don't worry about what you did yesterday. You better get it right today.